Hey, welcome. Who gets the money in a wrongful death settlement? There's two parts of the damages in a wrongful death case: pain and suffering and what's called wrongful death. What's the difference? Conscious pain and suffering means the conscious pain that the deceased person experienced before they died. So that's one element of damages. And for that element of damages, for example, in a case, the court in New York, would be called the surrogate's court, would do a determination called an allocation between wrongful death and pain and suffering. Two elements of damages. Pain and suffering, the money goes according to the decedent's last will and testament. If the last will and testament gave everything to the surviving widow, then the pain and suffering damages go to the surviving widow. If there is no last will and testament and the person dies without one, then New York State, what's called laws of intestacy, decide where the money would go. Generally, that would go to the surviving spouse, and if there's children, they would receive a portion of the pain and suffering damages as well. Now, let's talk about the second element of damages, wrongful death. What that means is, in New York, it's called the pecuniary loss of each distributee. A distributee means generally a surviving spouse. If they have children, the children. If there's no surviving spouse or children, then it could fall back to siblings, uncles, aunts, things of that nature. So what really happens here is New York uses a very old law that's called the Kaiser formula to determine how the money is divided between the surviving distributees of the estate. So isn't this beautiful? Uptown Kingston, I love it here. Beautiful. Our office is right up there, actually. The Kaiser formula, what does that mean? What the court will do is they'll look at the number of years of dependency of each distributee of the estate. So let's say that there's a surviving widow and one child. The child, let's say, is 10 years old, and the years of dependency to the age of 21 would be 11 years. So the child has 11 years. Let's say the surviving widow is 50, and the years of dependency are, let's say, 30 years for that person. So you'd have 30 years of dependency for the surviving widow, 11 years of dependency for the surviving child, and then you would add both numbers together, that'd be 41, and then each one of them would get their allocated share according to the number of years of dependency. So in that case, the lion's share of the damages would go to the surviving widow, who would get roughly 75%, and the child would get roughly 25%. That's called the Kaiser formula, and that's how damages or a settlement in a wrongful death action in New York State are determined. So that's the process. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing it for you. If you have questions, you can write a comment. I'll respond. Share our video. It'd mean an awful lot to us. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.